Hello, beautiful Sagittarius. Happy New Year to all of you. I hope you had a good holiday season and a good start to the year. My name is Iwona Rose. Welcome to my channel, Rose Healing Light. This will be a reading with spiritual guidance for the month of January 2023 for the sign of Sagittarius. And this will be good if Sagittarius is your moon, your sun sign, your moon, your ascendant sign, also for your Venus sign. You can also watch it for cross watching if this is what you wish to do, and also for any placements where you have Sagittarius in your chart. At the end of the reading, I will sorry guys, I will draw two cards for for the whole of January, for the whole of 2023. So for the year 2023 as a message, as like a theme or a small or as a short message for 2023 for you guys. All right, and one other thing I already asked. I usually connect with angels and archangels for the readings, and I've already asked Archangel Metatron and Archangel Michael, yeah, to be with us, to send us blessings, protection, so that we have a great experience here in the video. All right, and in the reading. So let's go ahead and get started. We start with the theme for you guys, for Sagittarius for January. And you've got number one, which is yang. So we've got yin and yang, right? So the masculine and the feminine. This is the masculine aspect of you guys, perhaps. So this is all about taking action, but also understanding how you take action and how you, let's say, come out from your power center, right, from your solar plexus. So while it is about you being active and taking action, but I would suggest that the way I'm feeling it for you, it's also, it would be good for you to understand how, like, why perhaps, what is it, why you do that, why you take action this way that you do, and also how you take action, right? And then perhaps by having some results, this will tell you if, let's say, if your action was right or wrong. It doesn't mean that it was wrong, but maybe you can correct it. But it does seem like in January you are also probably requested to take action towards things perhaps that you have already been planning to do, or maybe you've been meditating upon, maybe you were trying to manifest. So taking action will help you, let's say, will help you move forward. And especially there is an aspect of manifestation, of manifesting something into the physical world, and I will talk about it in a moment. So also it does say that you do need to take action, but as I said, like, it's good for you to just perhaps contemplate or how you take this action and what kind of action do you like you need to, or you want to take, or you need to take to get, let's say, the best results. All right. The center, okay, so that's interesting actually. The center of your reading is King of Ariel and King of Ariel is king of, sorry guys, for my throat, is a king of Pentacles in the traditional tarot. It actually comes with the angel of balance. So I'll talk in a moment about the angels. King of Ariel, I felt like this is someone actually in your life. It can be someone who is, let's say, steady and perhaps well positioned financially and otherwise in the physical life, but I feel like this person has two different sides to him. It probably is a male, perhaps coming back to that. So a male quality and the masculine is perhaps something that you want to remember for the month of January, and something that you may want to, like, take account on, or just pay attention to, right? Maybe even for your own reflective work. But this person is, so as I said, this person on one hand, he seems like he's a teacher and he can teach you something, and this is around, and it does feel like there's some theme for you, or something about you, like a manifestation into a physical, let's say, life, or into a physical realm of something that you want to bring into your life. So on one hand, this guy can teach you something. On the other hand, there is a bit of a shadow in that person as well. So I don't think so. This is not like that he's a negative person, right? Or like maybe even a toxic, but he kind of has these two sides to it. One is that he perhaps is great at what he does, and maybe he kind of possesses some skill in the physical realm and even in making money, for example. And there is something that he can teach you, but on the other hand, it comes with like a caveat that there's a bit of a shadow on this person, and he may also, I would suggest maybe don't follow him blindly, because you may just want to take a lesson from him or whatever you see that he does, right? And you don't perhaps want to follow all the practices and whatever he does, right? That it wouldn't be right for you. Who this person is, I think it's different for different people, so I don't need to. It could be a partner, but it could be a father figure, other mentor, a manager, a business partner. But I would suggest that it's like also up to you to see that this person on one hand is a good teacher and perhaps they have good practices, but on the other hand there may be some shadows coming up and something that maybe you don't fully agree, or at least you are being asked not to follow him blindly, let's say, right? Or just to take a step back. And I feel like the angel of balance here comes, so this is a message for you to remind you that you want to make sure that you take care of your own balance the way you feel the balance should come in. And this is perhaps a balance in your, again, this can be a balance in your material aspects of life. It could be balance, it could be emotional, but I feel like most of your cards do talk about manifestation and some physical aspects, or even material, financial, perhaps even career. So I would suggest taking care of the balance and of the right balance in your life. And even this could actually even relate to your health, but perhaps, and how much, I don't know, food, for example, do you eat, and how much food do you waste? I know it's a small example, but it's important for like a smaller, let's say, discipline type, but it can be also to do with your finances, maybe something to do with your career, for example, right? And the angel, and you do have another card with the angel of strength. I feel like the angels are also asking, this can be a message also for you guys, just to remember that the angels are there for you, and that you can connect with them. So at any moment in time you need help, or you need you need anything, you can simply call angels or archangels for help, and they'll definitely come and guide you. All right. So balance, also remember that balance is a bit of a theme as well, right? Or something that you need to pay attention to, or how do you bring your own balance about, right? This is the past position. It's Ace of Gabriel, which is actually quite a nice card, because it feels like you've started, it must have been like a new beginning for you, something that you are, so it could be a career actually, endeavor, maybe even a new career, or kind of like a new business, something that you are passionate about, and you were passionate about, and it feels like you've already started doing this, and perhaps you started working on this project. It could also be, it feels like it could be perhaps a new business that you want to start, or a new venture, or something new. It may be a change of career, but it does actually come like a new business, for example, and you've already started that in the past. And perhaps this guy, right, the King of Aries, so he obviously, maybe he has something to do with that. But maybe he's teaching you, for example, about what to do and what not, maybe what not to do, right? In terms of like continue with this endeavor. It does come, this card comes with two cards. One is Door to Spirit, and the other one is Happy Family, but the Happy Family comes in reverse. So it tells me that even though this kind of, let's say, beautiful and positive and exciting, let's say, endeavor already started, or you've started that in the past, I would suggest that this also opened up some door. So it opened up, let's say, this door to spirit, right? But how I would see it, that it opened up perhaps a new pathway for you. And I feel like many of you are already, let's say, spiritually aware and at least partly awake. So you perhaps are aware of yourself, and maybe even of the patterns that have been going to, that you've had in the past, and maybe you've been trying to heal and correct them. So yeah, so this endeavor opened, so whatever happened and whatever you started in the past sometime, it opened a new door, and it opened also to a door to spirit, so door to, like connecting, perhaps making sure that the spirit is part of it, that you continue, that you are not only doing it based, let's say, on your head. And as I said, like with the masculine is a lot about your power, but I feel like this has opened up something towards, so it's also an energy one, so something that you know that you are connecting with spirit, and you know that spirit is, or spirit, God, universe, that this is part of your life, and you want to continue, to work with spirit on this on this aspect of life. I feel also like the Happy Family in reversal, it does seem like through this project, I think you may be also moving away, you may be also moving away perhaps from some unpleasant aspects, perhaps in your family circle, or maybe in your friend circle, right? So something perhaps didn't go right. It comes together, so I don't know what is it necessarily with this, but it does feel like you don't necessarily want your family or your family to be involved perhaps in this endeavor. with the door to spirit, I feel like more you are encouraged, or you want to go, you want to be guided by spirit, right? God, universe, and perhaps you don't want to make, maybe let's say, make the same mistakes as maybe some people in your family made in the past, or someone else, or maybe some of your friends, right? So this is how it comes to you, and you continue. So with this guy, yeah, you continue perhaps your manifestation in the future position. You've got actually 5 of Ariel, and this is on the other hand card of, this is a card of lack, but I would say it actually comes back as like lack, like you feel like you're lacking something, maybe even like you're lacking a skill set, or maybe even like you something more subtle, like maybe you feel like you lack confidence. It kind of feels like you lack something that perhaps other people, you perceive that other people may have, and you don't have it enough. And actually it's interesting because I feel like this is a lot about you manifesting actually abundance as well, and manifesting material aspects. But this card is telling me that the lack is a little is on the inside of you. And yeah, I don't know if it's true. You either you perceive it the way. I would probably suggest that if you feel like this is a skill or even a confidence that you are lacking, I would say that this is something that you can work with, right? And you can gain, like, so you can learn anything you need to learn if you feel like your skills aren't good enough to manifest something, or to perhaps continue with this new business venture, right? If this is, let's say, a business venture or a new career path. So you can learn it. You can find mentors and teachers, and they can show you how to do it. So perhaps try not to get stuck on it, because sometimes we do have these blockages in our mind and feel like, gosh, how am I supposed to do that? So if it's a skill, there's the same with confidence. You can just work, like you need to use some healing methods, right? Or some psychological methods, but you can bring your confidence about as well, right? Or if this is anything similar to that, right? So if this is anything more subtle, I would still suggest that perhaps it's like, don't go into an illusion of you lacking something that you actually can gain just perhaps by doing a certain practice, or perhaps by going either back to school, or you can simply, you can simply find a mentor. And sometimes it's simple, because at the moment we have so many, let's say, YouTube videos, right? Or for example, I don't know, being on Instagram, so you can find different people showing you how to do the same thing in various different ways, and then you can learn from them, right? So I would suggest, yeah, and this, so I think this is the message. So I don't think that's, yeah, it's not as scary, and it doesn't feel like that you're lacking something materially. At least this is not the message here. And yeah, and you've got also the angel of strength here. So perhaps this is what I've said, right? This is very much about you, about your inner strength, about your perhaps capabilities, about your confidence, perhaps self-belief. Yeah, and I feel like that the spirit is saying here that you have your strength, you have the strength inside, and you are a strong person. You are a person who can get whatever you need, right? So you can get it, so you can learn it. If it's a skill that you need, you can learn a new skill, or you can perhaps improve on a skill that you've been using perhaps, and maybe you felt that you weren't, I don't know, good enough perhaps, right, on something. And I would strongly, to be honest with those two cards, I would strongly suggest, and maybe this is what spirit wants me to say, that definitely look at psychological work, look at some psychological books, right? Because things like confidence, this is something that you can regain or gain, right? And there is just a practice sometimes, or even affirmations that you can do, so that you can like change your energy and feel better, and you don't have to always compare yourself perhaps with other people. And maybe that's why this guy, this King of Ariel, came up to me. It felt like he's a bit of a good guy, but he kind of represents some shadow. So maybe you look up to him, right? And maybe you think, well, I don't have it, but you can get it, right? Oh, hope, yeah. So I'm just like, I feel compassion for you guys. I think that the message is quite strong, that you can get it, and you can work on yourself, right? It's kind of like a self-work, right? Yeah, and I think this is what I said, and this is, and probably again, this is an angel that comes here. So I would suggest, why don't you try working with angels? Yeah, and I think you are spiritually aware, because we've had this card, a door to spirit, at least for most of you. So just ask spirit, if you do a bit of meditation, maybe some prayer, ask spirit to guide you. Ask also spirit to guide you. And if you want to connect with angels, again, there are many teachers and mentors out there, and even for free you can watch perhaps there are many angel readers and people who teach about angels on YouTube, for example. You can read books as well. There are many wonderful books and authors who have written about how to connect with angels. So this is just an example. All right, guys, but you can learn it. Just remember that. And the reason why I said, so this is now your challenge, why I said I feel actually that there's something about manifestation in your life, but also perhaps paying attention how you take action, right? So you're the masculine side of you, because this is your challenge position, and the challenge is the Sun card with the new beginning, which is a judgment card in the traditional tarot. And although I would say that the Sun here, to me, especially with this, you see the guy on the horse and the sun, really beautiful, but I feel your challenge is actually the success and the victory, right? So it's like as if, and I think it's kind of, it relates to this kind of your perception of the lack of, I don't know, of not having something, but more like a skill, like a subtle, like a more subtle thing, right? Rather than lacking money. I don't think so. It's more about like the subtle thing or psychological aspect of you. Maybe there's a little bit of a block, actually. Maybe that's why I said, so please look it up, like, and ask the angels for help, please. Ask the angels to guide you if you feel a little bit like blocked over, let's say, if you do. So, and the Sun very often to me is about manifestation, and this is when I was looking at this, it seems like you continue to manifest and you do want to manifest something in your life, but you probably just need, maybe you need a bit of help, perhaps from spirit and from other people. But I also feel with the angel of strength, you probably need to do a bit of work on yourself, right? And I mean that it's a positive work, it's a psychological work maybe, but it will bring you, it will refresh your energy, it will raise your energy, right? And it will, and trust me, once you feel better, it will bring you positive results. And the Sun card, I think, even though it's a challenge, but I feel like it is possible. You just need to work for it a little bit, right? And yeah, so I was just thinking that maybe you're trying to manifest something, and this does feel like a new business or a new, yes, like a business venture, a business, a new endeavor, maybe even a new career path, right? And you've started it and you have the strength and you can continue, right? So anything that you're lacking, you can get. You can get it. And with this, with the Judgment card though, the new beginning here, I would suggest that maybe you are stepping through some threshold of so maybe things weren't, again, maybe you've lost, maybe you kind of, maybe you experienced, let's say this way, some failures in the past, right? Maybe there were some difficulties in the past, but probably in more distant past, right? Maybe you wanted to do something different and you failed for whatever reason, right? Maybe now that's why maybe you have this perception of you lacking confidence, for example, and maybe you felt maybe you think now, or you feel that you failed in the past because you didn't have enough confidence or the right skill set, for example. So I'm feeling, even though it's a challenge, I feel like you need to step through these lessons. Like, this is very often the new beginning, but it comes, this is number 20 in tarot, and this is very often when we are kind of finishing, like, we've gone through, let's say, sometimes some tough times, and then we've gone through, like, maybe we've done some healing work, we had to find new solutions, you know, go a little bit on a transformation path. But this is the moment when you rise up. Actually, you rise up above the challenge, you find a solution, or you find a way how to approach it in a new way, and then you can kind of, as if it feels like, maybe not push through it, but you can step through the door, right? Like, you have this door to spirit, which is a beautiful card. You've got this door to spirit. So spirit, remember that spirit, God, the universe, that's important. The spiritual aspect of you is very important, and I would say engage with this and with the angels every day, and with anything that you do. Even ask to bring you confidence, or just ask to show you how to do that, right? So just the challenge, I would say here is just, as I said, it is just kind of is manifesting something with success, right? So having some successful, I don't know, results when you're trying to do something in manifestation, and perhaps stepping through that, like, it comes like the stepping through the threshold, which means maybe you needed to overcome some obstacles and also some inner blocks, so that you can, let's say, a little bit push through that open door, for example, and then find yourself, let's say, and then maybe you need, and find yourself on the other side. But I think this is a bit of a process of going through, let's say, a threshold or like a transition aspect. It's kind of smaller. I don't think it's a very big for you, or at least you know what it relates to. But then perhaps the meaning, but the key to it is perhaps finding your inner strength and finding the way, for example, how to increase your confidence, right? So this is what I would say. Then in your environment card, we've got Queen of Raphael. And actually, the way it comes to me, it's probably either a therapist or a psychologist, or someone who has perhaps the knowledge and can help you with whatever you feel you are lacking, right? So she can help you, you know, the 5 of Ariel, that you feel you don't have the skill. Or it can be, she may be a teacher. And this is, it does feel like a female more, or a feminine aspect of, maybe even of you, but that's in the environment. So the feminine aspect of someone, but she's ready to help you, and she's somewhere in your environment. So it's just all about you connecting with her and asking for help, right? And for help with the angel. So the angel of strength, sorry. So help with anything. So as I said, it could be a therapist or a psychologist, or it could be a writer who has written a beautiful book about how to manifest, but how to also, for example, work with your emotions and feelings, to raise them, to raise them up, and to move forward, right? To continue to manifest better. And the good news, I would say, because the outcome card is Ace of Michael, and I think this is quite a good news for you, because you have some kind of a breakthrough through the month. So through the month of January, you should be able to regain your clarity. And that maybe that's why I felt, you see, like with the 5 of Ariel, where you felt you are lacking something that somehow you don't have, and maybe you felt like you don't even know how to get it, then I feel like you will get through this, right? This is Ace of Michael is a very positive thing. It's a breakthrough in the mind, and it's like a regained clarity as well, right? And maybe you will have a fresh new idea as well. And yeah, so that's a very positive sign for you, and it should definitely come through whatever you are going to do, right? And also, like, you know, for example, send some prayers to the angels and ask them for help. It will come through. And this is the advice card, guys. Release control. I don't think that I can, maybe, yeah, it's just about, so perhaps let me just connect it with the reading. I think, again, talking about this 5 of Ariel, so like the lack of, that you feel you're lacking something and you don't have, and perhaps, as I said, maybe you just need to learn it, because it's something that you can achieve, or you can get it. It's just knowing how to get it, right? Or how to get there. And I would say that maybe through whatever, so you need to, obviously, you need to rise, so whatever we've been talking about, like, for example, going for some psychological methods to raise your vibration, and you being advised to release control, release perhaps some fears that are blocking you inside of you. All right, I feel like I'll leave it with you. So letting go of control is perhaps something that you need to remember while you are perhaps looking for help, or looking for the solutions to what is it that you want to do. Okay, sorry, to kind of fill in the gap, right? Or something that you feel that you don't have enough. All right, guys. All right, and now let me just take, so I'm going to take 2 cards for Sagittarius, please, for the year, for 2023 as a year, please. Can we just have 1 card for Sagittarius? Family tree. Okay, we've got family tree. There's something also about the family. Maybe you just need to, yeah, Archangel Michael, please. Yeah, so if this is, so I would say, okay, so family, let me just see what comes through this card. Expansion and legacy. So perhaps family is important, or will be important for you, let's say, throughout, like, during the year 2023. Maybe you are learning something, like, but you've had that card of happy family, which was reversed, so perhaps some issues as well. But it feels like, okay, it feels like it will be important, and maybe you are learning also a lot about even how you manifest things into your own life, and how this was manifested back in your family circle, right? But it does feel like that they're also there for you, and they'll be supporting you. And this is a card from Archangel Michael, which actually is telling you that you and your loved ones are safe. I would say that this very often, so you and your loved ones are safe. I would suggest that this probably comes up. Maybe it's just your worry as well, because this card of luck, and as I said, to me it feels like you just need to find a method to regain perhaps confidence, right? And maybe regain like the inner strength as well a little bit. So I would suggest don't worry about it. I mean, Archangel Michael is just giving you, this is like a, let's say, spiritual message, a message from spirit, you and your loved ones are safe. But at any time you feel unsafe, or if you feel like there's something, I don't know, maybe something is in danger. Maybe this is also your own family that you created already in this lifetime. But if you feel like something isn't safe, or something is not good for you or your family, then Archangel Michael is asking you to perhaps send some prayers to God, or you can also communicate with Archangel Michael and archangels to help you, just to help you ground yourself, right, and find the balance, I would say. And the family tree. I think this is the main message for you for the year. All right, I think this is all I have for you, Sagittarius. Thank you for watching the video. I hope it was useful for you, and please hit the like button, subscribe. I'll be very grateful for this, or share it with your friends. and I hope to see you on my future videos. Take care of yourselves, and I'm sending you much love. Bye.